Hello everyone. I am Dr. Rushina Khan from Bakery Institute of Engineering and Management Studies. And today I am recording this session for my assignment submission under the ninth Faculty Induction Program, which is carried out under UGC, under Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University. It's the ninth faculty induction program, and here I'll be giving you a short presentation on quality accreditation as part of my seminar submission. So before that, I'll briefly introduce myself. I work in the MBA department of the Institute of Engineering and Management Studies, and I have completed my PhD in the same subject, that is in quality uh, management, quality prevention. And that's the reason I am giving this seminar on the same topic. So without wasting much of time, I'll quickly introduce the topic. As we all are faculties and we all hear the word quality every now and then, whether it's our day-to-day life, whether it's related to different corporates, companies, or maybe it can be related with our subject teaching, education field, academics. We all come across quality and the accreditations which are required for running any type of business smoothly. So let me show you the different uh, kinds of topics which I would be covering in this. Right. So the contents are as follows. First, I would be speaking something about what are the standards, what is exactly a standard, and how these standards are set, and why it is important to get the certification as a standard in whatever business you are carrying out. It can be manufacturing, it can be business, it can be education, it can be a consulting firm, and the list goes on. Then I would be talking something about the ISO accreditation, that is the ISO series, which is given by the International Standards Organization. And these are acceptable internationally all across the globe. So I would be talking more about that. After that, I would be talking more about the ISO TS 16949, which is more relevant with the automobile sector, automobile industry. And as we all know that in Aurangabad, we have a lot of automobile industries. So this ISO TS 16949 is used majorly by these automotive industries in and around Aurangabad city. Then the very famous and common ISO 14,000 series I would be talking about, which focuses more about the environmental aspects. As again, we all are aware that environment upgradation and protection of environment is very necessary. So this particular type of understanding of ISO 14,000 series again becomes important for all of us. And finally, I would be concluding with the OHSAS 18,000 series, which again relates to workplace health, safety, and environment. So to begin with, I would like to explain you that what is a standard. So standard is nothing but it is a document wherein you are being given a few set of prioritized statements, and it can be covering various topics including education, healthcare, social care, public health, etc. These quality standards also consider all the areas of care, starting from public health to healthcare, social care, and it also relates to almost all the educational institutes and universities these days. It also helps us to understand what are the factors which can bring a lot of cost effectiveness in our ongoing processes. It also talks about the people's experiences of using all these services. It also talks about a lot of health and safety issues and the impact which we would be creating as part of our business or as part of our educational programs upon the environment. So a standard is nothing but it can also be called as specific guidelines, which can be given by any of the nodal agencies. It can differ from country to country, and then there are few international organizations like the ISO organization, which is applicable throughout the globe. So depends on the companies which type of standardization a company wishes to go in for. So you can either go in for at the international level standards, or you can go for the domestic standard statements also. So here the ISO, that is the International Standards Organization, which is being headquartered at Geneva, it gives lot many standards. It's almost around 19,000 international standards that they have given, and anybody across the globe can go and purchase all these standardizations. So there is a detailed procedure of how you can apply for these standards, how you have to register your forms, and then finally you have to complete all the steps before the ISO finally gives you their certification. So it's nothing but it's a kind of an umbrella of different certifications and standards, I can say. So what are the major benefits of all these quality standards? So definitely, quality speaks for itself, and getting it certified with the help of a document or with the help of a government or globally acceptable standard will give it more importance. So you can have a lot of edge in your areas of businesses. You can have good technological upgradation. Economically, you can have a lot of benefits like you can get a good competitive advantage over your peers and your competitors. Society also helps in acknowledging that you're following all the quality norms, as they are the ultimate users who would be using all these uh, products or processes which you are about to give. So it helps in harmonizing lot of technical specifications, because these standards in depth, they explain you very well what sort of procedures you have to follow, whether it's manufacturing or service industry, and how you can make all your daily procedures efficient for development of efficient services and products. It breaks down lots of international barriers, because again, if you are certified under ISO or any other major standardized quality standards, you can have a lot of acceptability in the global market. Many people will just look at that, your company or your business is a certified business under the ISO standards, so it becomes easy to enter to different markets across the globe. Conformity to international standards will definitely help to reassure consumers that the products are safe, they are efficient, and yes, they are safe for the health as well as they are good for the environment also. Because if you, as a company, if you are ISO 14000 certified, you would definitely have an eco-friendly process of doing work, and your products will also be eco-friendly. Then comes the cost factor. You can save a lot of cost under the international standards. Your operative as well as your, you can say, uh, the day-to-day costs can be improved, wherein you can be uh, it can be helpful for you in increasing your profits. You can have a lot of customer satisfaction because international standards helps in improving the overall quality, and definitely the customers will be satisfied as you would be following each and every nuance of providing them with quality products with good prices. Again, environmental benefits, which I've already spoken, you can have good increased market share for your business and for your products. You can even get a lot of consultancy services and you can get a lot of expertise help when you have these ISO standards, because this organization is already having a lot of experts in their organization who have developed all these guidelines and who have helped in bringing about these standards as a step-by-step process after having a lot of studies and after having a lot of discussions on that. So you can have a lot of expert people who would be involved in helping you to get these ISO standards. So somewhere you can have it, it will give you an overall expert advice on how to run a business and how to save costs and how to gain customers uh, goodwill and improve in your sales. These are few of the ISO certifications which are commonly used. There are actually many more, but I have mentioned only few relating to information security. That is the last one, ISO 27000 series, wherein IT is an area which can be infringed upon very easily these days. So in order to ensure that your organization's information is safe and secure, you can go in for this standard. Then you have a newer standard, that is ISO 26000, wherein it gives a image that your organization is socially responsible. So every now and then people would appreciate those companies wherein they share their profits for the social welfare of the society as well. So this particular ISO 26000 series is also very much sought after by the companies these days. Then the other standards are common, wherein I think almost all the companies they are having these standards these days. So it's 9000 series, 14,000, and the food sector industries usually go in for the 22,000 quality standards. So let's talk about the ISO 9000 family of quality management system standards. So it's again a set of lot many international standards which will give you a lot of quality assurance, um, and it will help all the companies and businesses to document the entire quality system elements to be implemented to maintain an efficient quality system. And it can be applied to almost any size of the organization depending upon the availability of all the minimum criteria which these standards require, and it should also be the readiness of the organization to go in for these kind of standards, as it really requires a lot of efforts, and it also includes a lot of paperwork. And if the companies are ready to shell in more money for the registration process also, if they are ready to pay, because these are international standards and you have to pay a certain amount of fees for getting your company registered under it. Then it again deals with a lot of fundamental principles of quality, and there are the 7 basic quality management principles, and these are the base on which these 9000 series of standards are being created. And it was first published way long back in 1987. So this is the basic series, the 9000 series of quality standards, wherein after every few years there can be a lot of amendments as per the changing business scenario, as per the changing technology. You can have more amendments in these standards as well. Then there are a lot of guidelines relating to continuous improvement, guidelines, how you can maintain your books of accounts, uh, basic quality requirements, etc. And all these 9000 series of quality standards under the ISO, they are majorly based on these main seven management principles, which I have already mentioned. So first one is the customer focus, leadership, engagement of people, improvement. Then you have a lot of evidence-based decision making, how you can have good relationships with your uh, suppliers and vendors and customers. It also helps you to understand how you can have good cost effective linkages between all the activities and how you can have a good resource management system. So keeping into view and account the seven management principles, these are the guidelines which are being given by the ISO organization. Then we quickly come to the ISO 14,000 family of standards, which we all are aware that it relates to the environmental responsibilities for all of us as businesses, as services, and it also focuses majorly on the specific approaches such as environmental audits, how and in what type of labeling you are doing, what is the complete life cycle of a product, that is right from the start of the product, like how you get the raw materials, what different type of things you are covering under your environmental systems, and what sort of waste is generating from your manufacturing processes. So all these things are covered, and basically a complete environment management system, that is EMS, is being followed very well under the ISO 14,000 series. Again, as 9000 series are there, you have lot many different subpoints under that. In the similar way, 14,000 series also covers lot many things like 14,001, 14,002, 3, and again it can vary and change according to uh, time, and you can have more newer additions and subtractions into the existing ISO 14,000 series. So this is a simple way how you can get certified yourself as a business or as a company, or even as an institute or any service industry can go in for the certification. So the first step is you definitely have to review your existing quality management system. Every company is having a quality policy these days. So it's always better that you keep on reviewing and understanding and amending and putting into new things into your quality policy uh, quality policy document. And after that, you can get decision or approval from the top management if you wish to go for the ISO certification. So once you do the registration by paying a minimum amount of fees, registration fees, you can get the ISO 14,000 training. Now this is applicable for all the different ISO standards. The steps are almost similar, not very different. So once you get the training from these consultants who come from ISO organization, after that you consult again with a third party auditor or a registrar. You can have lots of discussion, you can complete all your paperwork, and then you can finally go in for the inspection, after which you can, if the ISO auditor, if he gives you a clean shot, you can get this certification. So it's almost not a kind of certificate which you get in few days. It might lead you to few months, or maybe some companies can take years also to get this certification in place. And one more thing, uh, for different organization, you need to keep on renewing this certificate. After every 3 or 5 years, you need to renew the ISO certifications. So this is the complete family of the 14,000 ISO series of the environment, wherein you can clearly see what are these different ISO series stand for. Some stand for greenhouse gases, some are there for auditing, some are there for which type of labels and declarations you need to have, what sort of eco designing you need to consider in your organization, so on and so forth. We next come to the ISO TS 16949 series, which is more related to the automobile industry. It was actually first prepared by an organization called as IATF, that is the International Automotive Task Force, and the Technical Committee of ISO. So both these people, both these organizations came together and they thought that why not to come up with a specialized or a customized kind of an ISO certification for the automobile sector specifically. So they came up with this kind of ISO certification, which is also called as a technical specification. So that's the full form of the word TS. So even if in those industrialized cities or the industrial areas where you find more of automobile sector related industries and subsidiaries, you will find this sort of ISO TS 16949 more common in these areas. Now, how to get this ISO TS certification? Again, almost similar. You first create your own quality policies, try to understand it, try to improvise it. Then again, you can compare your own policies, quality policies with the ISO TS policy document, and you can have a good performance gap analysis. Whatever is not there in your organization, you can have plans to incorporate those quality guidelines also in your existing organization, which is already there in ISO TS policy document. I can say the quality document instead of the policy document. After that, you can again provide a lot of training to all the people, because getting a quality certification is not only the work of one person, or it's not only the work of the stakeholders or the top management, but each and every person has to be ready, and they have to work hard, they have to understand what is this quality thing which they are going in for, and after that they can have a lot of training in order to design and document all the paperwork. So after that again, you can do the audit. A third party auditor might come, and once he gives a clean sheet, you can get the registration for this. These are few of the common certification bodies which are famous worldwide across the globe. That is TUV. We have a lot of quality institutes or the quality councils also, which is related to a particular country. So in India, we usually follow the Quality Council of India for the domestic business purposes. Again, it is not compulsory that you go in for only one certification from one certification body. You can go in for multiple registrations also. You can at the same time go in for Indian Registrar Quality System certification. Along with that, you can even go in for the certification from ISO. And then again, if you're more into the export import businesses, few countries have their own certification bodies which are very famous over there. So if it is their requirement, then definitely you have to go in for those certification bodies which are more, uh, you can say, more known in their countries. So in USA, you have the Eagle certification group. If you are, if you wish to have an entry into France, you'll have to follow the Bureau Veritas certification body, the guidelines given by Bureau Veritas, and you have to gain quality certification from this Bureau Veritas. So it differs, as I already said. In UK, LRQA is more common, and in India, we usually follow TUV and Intertech. These are the certification. These are, I can say, these are the more acceptable and the more prominent certification bodies, wherein majority of the companies go in with them for their quality certifications. Then we quickly finish with OHSAS. Again, it is more related with your health, occupational health safety. It's an assessment series. Again, it is more of a British standard for having a safe, healthy work environment, safety for your workers, especially relating more to the safety of the workers who are working in hazardous industries or in those type of conditions where their health and safety can be compromised. So the series is called as 18,000 series, and again it also has many sub series under that. It basically helps in reducing the accidents, the workplace accidents which usually occur. Benefits, again, you can ensure a good health and well-being of all your employees. You can reduce the accidents. You can be very good with the compliance part of your organization, wherein it will reduce the headache of litigations arising due to accidents. It will improve the accident or any sort of problematic things which happen at workplace. So the investigation process can become more simple and easy. And yes, definitely, if the employee feels safe at workplace, it will help in increasing his motivation level, thereby increasing his productivity. Again, the few steps is almost same as 14,000 and 9,000 series. You again get uh, acquainted with the existing safety systems in place, then identifying the gaps which are there, and again, once you educate and train all your staff, you can go in for the final inspection, and once the auditor gives a clean sheet, you can get this certification. So that was the brief lecture on different ISO certification bodies, ISO standards, and what different quality management systems you should keep in place in order to have a successful and a long-lasting business. So thank you very much. And for more information, you can always reach out on the given email ID. Thank you all.